Hi, my name is Kara Kohnen. I'm a clinical director and licensed marriage and family therapist at Grow Through Life Counseling, a private practice located in San Diego County, specializing in children and teenagers. We have two locations. One's in the East Lake part of Chula Vista, and the other is in the Del Mar Carmel Valley area. Tonight I'm giving a talk at Arroyo Vista Elementary School, and one of the topics I'm going to touch on, and this is part 4 in my video series, is limiting electronics. So I can geek out on this really bad. I'm sort of a neuroscience nerd, and I have always been interested in child development. So one of the things that's really interesting about early exposure to tablets, iPhones, computers, there's been some really cool things that we've been able to do with kids with special needs or kids on the autistic spectrum with these devices. However, the flip side is the tablet, computer, phone acts as an external brain. And so what we know about child development is that kids who are always in their devices are stuck in what's called a delta theta brainwave pattern, which is sort of like a neutral / cruise control setting, if you could give the analogy of a car. So the car isn't having to work very hard, it's just sort of coasting through. And that's why you see kids that play video games for hours, they kind of look at you like, huh, what? They're like in zombie mode because their brain has been in that delta theta pattern. Another time we see a delta theta pattern is when someone is under the influence of marijuana. That's a very similar pattern. So the feeling is a relaxed, chilled out version, right, in your body, but the brain is actually going into neutral. And if you think about that phone or that tablet as an external brain, it's doing all the work, so your own brain is not having to work as hard. So for these reasons, we understand that it impacts neurodevelopment. And so in what ways does it impact neurodevelopment? Well, let me give you another example. Children who grow up in Africa playing with sticks and rocks versus commercialized toys. When we look at their brain scans, the imagination part of their brain is overly developed, influenced. They have wonderful imaginations. They need very little to entertain them. When we look at more westernized culture with more detailed toys that have already told the story, we see there's a difference in how the imagination part of a child's brain develops. So we want to give them the opportunity to use their brain and to build those neurostructures and to maximize their own brain development. So limiting contact with electronics is one thing that we definitely recommend, especially if kids are having mood or behavioral problems. It doesn't challenge them to use their brain. Think of the difference of what it takes to read a boring history textbook versus Google something. You're using different parts of your brain and different functions. So it's really important to limit that time. It should be seen as extra time. Once reading is completed, once other cognitive tasks, homework, math homework is completed, then maybe that's used as a reward or a reward for good compliant behavior, and then given as a limited opportunity. So definitely during the school day, a lot of parents say there's not a lot of time between school, getting homework done, getting chores done, getting to bed. Great, that limits the time right there. On the weekends though, a lot of kids will go into long video game binders with each other. And so that's something I would take a look at, especially if your child is having behavioral problems. That's probably a really good idea to limit the time that they're on it and at least have them pause it and take breaks and do something more cognitively stimulating. So this was part 4 of my talk on helping with behavioral problems in elementary school aged children. If you have any other questions, feel free to visit us on our website, www.growthroughlifecounseling. There you'll find a contact form. Feel free to contact me, send me any messages, any questions you might have about any of my videos on my YouTube channel. And appreciate you watching. Thanks so much. Bye.